Now let us move on how to represent the moments, that is row and central moments in terms of expectation. Okay, so for that let us consider a random variable x. So let x be a random variable. Okay, then let capital A be any constant and r, small letter r, be any non-negative real number. Okay, so I have defined three terms over here. X be a random variable, A be any constant, and R is a non-negative real number or a positive number. Okay, now let's have a look at how we can represent the moments. Okay, now expectation of x minus a the whole raised to r, okay, is equal to, when x is a discrete random variable, the formula for this is nothing but summation x minus a the whole raised to r p of x, and this is the case when x is discrete. Okay, now again this can be also written as expectation of x minus a the whole raised to r is equal to integral over x minus a the whole raised to r f of x dx. This is the case when x is continuous. Okay, now this is nothing but the rth moment. I'm not defining any central or row moment right now. It is nothing but the rth moment of x about the origin a. A can be any number. A is a constant. Okay, so what is this? This term is nothing but it is the rth moment of the random variable x about the origin a. Okay, now usually just keep this in mind. Central moments, we represent it by a notation mu r, and the row moments we represent it by the notation mu r dash. So again I'm going to discuss three cases regarding this. Okay, so as I said, we are going to explain right now the three cases that might come under this procedure. Now the case one is when a is equal to 0 in equation number 1. I have marked this as an equation number 1. It's not an equation, sorry, the term number 1. Okay, now the case 1 is when a is equal to 0 in this term. Okay, now let's have a look. That is when a is equal to 0, we get expectation of x the whole raised to r. Now this is nothing but, we will denote this by mu r dash, which is the row moment, and I would like to specify this mu r dash as the rth row moment of the random variable x. Okay, so that is the first case. Now I'm going to give this as 2. Okay, now case 2. Case 2 is when r is equal to 1 in the equation 2. So let's see. So now here I'm going to put this r equal to 1 over in this equation. I'm not going to put it over here, but I'm going to write it in this second equation. So our second equation is nothing but expectation of x whole raised to r is equal to mu r dash, which implies when I put r is equal to 1 here, I get expectation of x is equal to mu 1 dash. I hope you all know what is expectation of x. Expectation of x is nothing but the mean of the random variable x. Okay, so this is the mean of x, of the random variable x, and this is what, and it is also known as the first row moment of the random variable x. First row moment of x. Okay, so I hope it's clear now, case 2. Now, coming on to case 3, again, case 3 is nothing but a is equal to mu1 dash. I'm going to consider the first term that I have marked over here, and that is nothing but expectation of x minus, instead of a, I am going to give mu1 dash the whole raised to r, and this is nothing but I denoted by mu r, and this is called the central moment. Central moment in the sense the rth central moment of the random variable x. So this is the case 3. Now we have 3 cases, case 1, case 2 and case 3. Now with this we are going to find out whether there is any relationship between the row moment and the central moments. Now we are going to find out the first central moment using this particular equation. So in order to find out the first central moment, what we are going to do is, I am going to give r is equal to 1 in this first equation. When I give r is equal to 1 in this first equation, I get mu1 is equal to expectation of x minus mu1 dash the whole raised to 1. Okay, which is equal to, I am going to take this expectation inside. So I get expectation of x minus expectation of mu1 dash is nothing but what? Mu1 dash itself. So why do I say that? Because mu1 dash is nothing but the mean, right? We have a result earlier. Okay, so that is equal to expectation of x. So since I said we have a result earlier regarding the mean, now expectation of x is what? Yes, you have studied that. What is it? It is again mu1 dash minus mu1 dash is equal to 0. So that implies that the first central moment is nothing but it is 0. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now the second central moment. So this is all about the first central moment. I am going to write about second central moment. Now let's see what your second central moment is all about. Now again, when I have to find out what the second central moment is, I have to put r is equal to 2. So here r is equal to 2. This is case 2. This is case 1. Okay. So mu2 is equal to nothing but expectation of x minus mu1 dash the whole raised to 2. Now I am going to expand this term. When I expand this term, I get x square minus 2x mu1 dash plus mu1 dash square. Okay, now I am going to take this expectation inside, where I get expectation of x square minus 2 expectation of x. I am not going to give expectation over here, because you know, if even though I give expectation with mu1 dash, it is again mu1 dash itself, plus this is also the same term mu1 dash square, and this is equal to, what is expectation of x square? Again you have studied a result. What is that? Expectation of x raised to r is nothing but what? Mu r dash, right? The rth row moment, right? So what can I write instead of expectation of x square? Yes, I can write this as mu2 dash, that is the second row moment, minus 2 into expectation of x is the first row moment. This is again mu1 dash plus mu1 dash square, which is equal to mu2 dash minus, now this term together, it will become what? Mu1 dash square, right? So which implies that mu2, that is the second central moment, is equal to nothing but the second row moment minus the square of the first row moment. Okay, so this is the another result that you have to keep in mind. This is very important, and you will see more about what mu2 is in the coming classes. So right now what we are going to do is, we are going to derive what is mu3, that is the third central moment. Coming on to the third central moment, again what we will do is, we will put 3 in place of r in the first equation that we have written before. So when we do that, yeah, the first equation over here. So what we get is when r is equal to 3, this whole equation will change into mu3 is equal to x minus expectation of x minus mu1 dash the whole cube. Now if you closely observe this, this is nothing but what you have studied in your high school. It is a minus b the whole cube. So the next step we will expand using this formula, a minus b the whole cube. Please keep this in your mind and start expanding this whole term. So when you expand, what you will get, expectation of x cube minus mu1 dash cube. Mu1 dash is nothing but in this case it is b, minus 3x square mu1 dash plus 3x mu1 dash square. Then again I am going to take the expectation inside as we done earlier. So when I take the expectation inside, I get expectation of x cube minus mu1 dash. Again I would like to repeat that even if you take expectation for mu1 dash, you will get the same answer. So I'm going to write it as mu1 dash cube itself minus 3 into expectation of x square mu1 dash plus 3 mu1 dash square multiplied by expectation of x, which is equal to, now I have to convert all these things in terms of mu1 dash and mu1, right? So that is equal to mu3 dash. Why it is mu3 dash? Because we have a result like expectation of x raised to r. If this is expectation of x raised to r, then what is it? Yes, it is nothing but mu r dash, right? So applying that result over here, I get mu3 dash minus mu1 dash the whole cube, that I have just written it right down, minus again here you get expectation of x square. Again I am applying the same result, that is expectation of x raised to r is equal to mu r dash. Over here I get mu2 dash, then mu1 dash plus 3 into mu1 dash the whole cube. This is nothing but what mu1 dash itself. So again I am going to just refine what I got. So when I refined, I got mu3 dash minus 3 mu2 dash mu1 dash plus 2 into mu1 dash the whole cube, which is nothing but your third central moment. So in this way you can find out your fourth central moment, fifth, sixth, up to like r terms you can find out. So let's have a look at what will be the when you take r terms r, what will be the central moment. We will just expand this thing. Now we will move on to the to a general case. So the general case is where mu r is equal to expectation of x minus mu1 dash the whole raised to r. Now here I am going to expand this term x minus mu1 dash the whole raised to r. Okay, so when I expand I get something like this in terms of expectation, and then what you have done before, that whenever you get something in terms of expectation, you turn it into the terms of moments, and in the second line you will get what you are like changing it to the terms of moments, and then after that you refine your equation and you will get mu r dash minus rc1 mu r minus 1 dash mu1 dash plus etc plus minus 1 the whole raised to r minus 1 r minus 1 mu1 dash the whole raised to r. So if you want to find out the fourth central moment, you can either like expand it from here itself, that is mu4 is equal to expectation of x minus mu1 dash the whole raised to 4. You can expand it, or else you can give 4 over here, that is instead of r you can write 4 mu4 dash minus 4c1, and you can find out the answer from this equation also. That is all up to you. So now this is the relationship between row and central moment. So in this what I did is, first I found out the first central moment, second central moment, third, and the fourth if you want you can find out, so and so on. I arrived at the rth central moment, and then we expanded it and we have got an equation like this. Okay, so I hope you all have understood the relation. So next we will have a look at the mean and variance in terms of moments. Okay, so we have already seen that the mean, that is mean is what? Expectation of x. And how do you represent expectation of x? It's nothing but mu1 dash. So that is itself we get the answer that mu1 dash, which is the mean, but it is also the first row moment of the random variable x. So that is our first result. Now the second result is I like to say that variance of x is nothing but mu2. So why do I say that variance of x is nothing but mu2? Mu2 is your second central moment. Now we will have to find out whether this is true or not. Okay, so let's take v of x. Now v of x is equal to, in terms of expectation, we have already studied what is it. Expectation of x, expectation of x minus expectation of x the whole square, which is equal to expectation of x minus this thing I have here as mu1 dash, so I'm going to replace it by mu1 dash square, which is equal to expectation of x. Now this I'm going to expand, so I get square minus 2x mu1 dash plus mu1 dash square. Now if I take expectation inside, so this I think you have already done this and you will be familiar by now what the final answer will be, which is equal to, this is nothing but what, mu2 dash minus this whole thing 2 mu1 dash square plus mu1 dash square, which is equal to mu2 dash minus this thing becomes what, yes, mu1 dash minus mu1 dash square, and this is nothing but what, your second central moment, which we have studied or we have derived when we were finding the relationship between row moment and central moment. So this result was there. So that is how I arrived at the variance of x is nothing but it's our second central moment.